Hi friends, welcome back to day 4 of our simple and sweet Christmas card class. I guess that's what I'm calling it because all of these cards are simple and sweet and just beautiful. So I thought I would use today the Christmas Scottie stamp set and punch. Now, if this punch is still available when you're watching this video, it is 30% off at $13.30. So you might want to grab this. Even if you don't care for the stamp set, having this punch would be great because you can punch these little Scottie dogs and these little bows and use them for lots of different things. So that's my suggestion there, if it's still available. Like I said, I had to pre-record these videos for you, and it's possible that the products I'm showing you are already gone and spoken for. There are links below the video to go shopping, and there's also a host code that you can use to get all of the card kits from the 5 days of the Simple and Sweet card class completely free. So make sure you use the host code. Your order does have to be $50 or more before tax and shipping. Okay, let's get into making today's card. We're actually going to start out with an element on the card, and this is a tip for you. Whenever you're going to plan to do heat embossing, if you're going to use ink on the card, I highly recommend doing your inking first so you can let that piece of cardstock sit. So you're going to see what I mean. So we have cherry cobbler cardstock here. This is cut at 3 inches by 3 1/4, and I'm inking up this little plaid image from the Scottie dog set, and I'm just going to stamp it down, and it's stamped beautifully, so I don't really even need to stamp it again. And the thing is, though, it's wet, so I want to be able to stamp a sentiment here and heat emboss the sentiment, but if this is wet, then my embossing powder is going to stick to this ink. So what I'm going to do is, that's why I did this first. I'm going to set this aside and let it dry really good while we make the rest of the card. So I have a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock cut at 4 1/4 by 11. The kit you receive, yours will be cut at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. And then I have the snowflake image from the Christmas Scotties, and I'm going to ink it up in cherry cobbler and just start stamping a few of the snowflakes across the card in the background. I think that's enough, actually, because this whole middle area is going to be covered. So we have a piece of the, oh, what was this paper called? It's in the holiday catalog. It's actually intended to be Halloween paper, which I really love using, like lots of different papers for different elements. And now I cannot remember the name of it to save my life. That's okay. It will be in the supply list over on my blog. So this piece of designer series paper is cut at 3 1/2 by 3 3/4. If you place an order, this will be in your card kit, so you don't have to worry about purchasing this designer series paper, and unless you just really love it and want some of it, which it's super versatile. It's black and white on one side with lots of different patterns. You flip it over and it's gray and black on the other side with lots of different patterns. So that works well for all kinds of cards, right? Okay, the next step is going to be going back to this guy. Now, I know this is not probably dry enough yet, just from experience. So I have my heat tool, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And I know it's going to be a little harder to hear me, but I'm going to go ahead and put some heat on this just to really dry that ink. And then I'm going to show you a trick that you can do to avoid having any mess ups when you are heat embossing another image. So before I stamp my sentiment and do all of that, what I'm gonna do is grab my embossing powder, and I'm going to go ahead and run the embossing buddy over this like this. And before adding anything else, I'm gonna take my embossing powder and just pour it on top. Now see there how it's sticking? So that tells me this really isn't dry enough. It really is sticking to the area that is wet. So what I'm gonna do is set my embossing powder aside and clean this off really well. I have a brush. Let me grab my brush. I have a brush here for this very situation. And then I'm just gonna come back in with my heat tool and heat it a little bit more so that it's nice and dry. All right, let's test it one more time. Now I need to, okay, yeah, it's that way. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I can handle that. Okay, so we're gonna go with our embossing buddy one more time. Grab our Versamark ink. Ink this up. And this says, "May your days be furry and bright," which is so cute. I actually have a person in mind that I'm gonna give this card to. She is a dog lover like I am. I met her because my husband became friends with her husband, and the thing that we were able to connect on, you know, it's hard when you're an adult getting to know new people, isn't it? It really is. And so the thing we were able to kind of make a connection on was that we both are really huge dog lovers. So cute. Normally I like to heat my heat tool up, let it run for a little bit before I'm doing anything with it, but when I'm on video I can't really do that because it's too noisy. So I'm going to be super classy and I'm going to take my shirt and clean my embossing powder off. Yep, that's how we roll. Okay, so this is going to go like this, but first I'm going to add this stunning gold ribbon, which is, by the way, carrying over to the spring catalog. So I was super excited about that. Yay. Okay, so we're gonna do that first. Then we're gonna add this on here with Stampin' Dimensionals, and you will get a little strip of this ribbon in your kit. I should have probably measured that for Miss Deborah because she's gonna cut your kits for you. She doesn't even know that yet though. At the time of me filming this, I haven't even told her what we've got going on in the office. She's been out of the office because we had Thanksgiving, right? So she hasn't been here. So we're doing things a little, you know, cattywampus, not perfectly straight, which is fine. And then we have our little Scottie dog, and I punched him out of this punch with basic black cardstock. So he's just super simple to add onto our card, but we're not done because this little friend of ours needs some pizzazz, right? Our little Google eye. And you want to add it kind of like where right below where his little brow sticks out there. So we're going to add that. And then he just looks nude. So we need to add his little bow. So I've got my punch here and a scrap of cherry cobbler card stock. And so we're just going to come in and do that. And then of course we have to give it just a little extra oomph-a-doomp. We'll bring this guy back in. And rather than stamping it down this way, I'm just going to ink this up and push my little bow down on top very carefully and then pick it right back up. And as you can see, hopefully, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see. It's got the same pattern that's in the background here, which I think is fun. And then we're just going to add his little bow, which just really, look at how much that pulls it together. It's just amazing, right? Okay, and then last but not least, we're going to go in with another little piece here of ribbon and just do a little under over knot right over the top, which will just kind of bring this whole thing together. Makes it look a little more intentional and a little less just like random. And there is our finished Christmas card for today. And then I would recommend to put a piece of white copy paper on the inside of here for writing your note, or you could use a silver or gold pen. The copy paper won't be included with your kit because I figure everybody's got some white paper laying around that they can throw on the inside. But that is the finished card. So cute. And I thought it would be fun. I know tomorrow is our last day, but I thought it would be fun to show all the cards really quick that we've made so far. And these are the cards that you will get kits for. Got one more here. Aren't those cute? They're so cute. And they don't really coordinate as far as being exactly the same, but they're just so dang cute and sweet, and I just love them. And it's gonna come just in time for you to finish out some extra Christmas cards. So I hope you're enjoying this. We have one more card tomorrow in this series. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to shop with me at the link below the video, and make sure to use that special host code so that we know that you want these card kits. If you don't use that host code, we don't know that you want the card kits. So make sure you use that host code, okay? Thanks so much. Bye-bye.